us, I think, because we've seen it before. Let's go back to where we were. Let me just figure out where it was. I think. Okay. I think we did the blurb at the beginning of this on number Yud, and that's where we stopped. And so therefore, I think that what we should do is read the top part, get it together what it's saying, and then we'll read the Pirush. We'll go back. Antu Elul kol Elohim, higher than any height, or deeper than any depth. Stima al kol Stima, more closed than any concept of closing. This machshavat tefisa qual, it's not possible for a thought to actually grasp you. Antu dafikus aser tikunim, so you brought out 10 tikunim. The Korean, and you called these tikunim by the name lon aser sfiran, and they're called aser sfiros. Van hagabahom almim steaming delo is gallions are brought out. First of all, almim means hidden worlds. That delo is gallion that are never revealed. Ba'alman does gallion, and also hidden worlds that are revealed. The Bahom is kasiyas mimeno nasha, and then there is hidden away from, I guess, the gaze of people. Let's look over here at the Pirush and see some ideas here. Because that's how the work or the ma'atzel is revealed. Ma'atzel elyon kula. Let me see if I got this right. Yeah, elyon koho v'nisake ha'olam manhigo. All of these things. We'll get some ideas on this. Let's read it one time now. For Korean and Lo asa sfirin, and we call them 10 sfiros. Anu korim osam ha'asara tikunim. So tikunim we learn from other places means limitations of light, his matas and the light. So he says asara, different ways in which they are measured are limited. B'shem eses spheros, the lashon sapir, like this, whether sapir, v'or she'al yadam. So sapir means like, I think he means like a sapphire, but I'm not sure. V'or she'al yadam me'ira na'devarim ha'negalim v'ne'olomim, and through them, these spheros, me'ira na'devarim ha'negalim, those things which could be revealed, shine. V'ne'olomim. V'ad solas elach ha'besar seviros, so bringing out these spheros. I'm still working on the word of translation for Atzolos, which means is really the distance. As a spirit on Haga Bahom Almin Steaming, the lo is Gallion. Kede Lahanhig Al Yadam Al Olamos Al Stumos Shalo is Galo. Shahim Al Lomos Le'en Kates, which are infinite. Misbar Shakad Bahula Al Atzilus Al Atzilus Velo Noidelon. The Alma is Gallion, also the world of revelation, where things are revealed. V'chein lahanhig behem olamos atzilus bria yitzira v'otzia. Shkulam misnagim min hagim al seder eses spheros, because all of those olamos also work according to the concept of these 10 spheros. V'hom is kasiyas b'bnei nosha, and there are those that are hidden from us. But so eloha as spheros, in the midst of them, or through them, his kasiyach b'bnei adam, they're all hidden from people. Ki al yedei his lavshus or ha'ein so with spheros, because of that fact, in the spheros, yuchlu b'nei adam atachtonu l'spor otzim ha'or, to be able to manage or to bear that particular light. He says, Otzim ha'or kamo shekasav ha'gadmonim ki ha'elam kul iker ha'tikun, because hiding the light is the iker of the tikun. That's his matas of the light. Interesting thoughts here. So number Yud Aleph, I think we didn't do that one yet, and so phrase that led up to it was, he says, Antu Darfikas Aser Tikunim, and he goes on to say that he says, Va'elyon Kohol B'Saken Ha'olam Manhigo. Well, maybe I should have read the rest of it. Let's try it again. He says, Antu Hu Shahot Solas Od Solas Asaver Dat Solim. So, different, distant, that I'm still using that idea. It's through them, and the Elyon is able to reveal him all his own essence. He says, Omisaken ha'olam omanhigo, and also making a tikkun in the world, and manhigo. I'm a little worried about, I'm not worried, but I'm concerned about this word omanhigo, and he who leads it. So let's look down a little bit further and let's see what it says here. He says, so he says, Dikra Hadatsalam Yud Midos. They're called 10 different measurements of Yud Spheres Lahoros Sheesh Lechem Mede Bekitzbach B'Mitzbah, and it has a count. I'm not sure what he means by mitzvah. But he says, it sounds like a count, a fixed count. They have midos. Maybe Sham, B'Shem Zohar, the call Sphera is Lo Shem Yadia Umida V'Gavul V'Tachom, Ki Im Lav HaSphirus Hoya Dat Salam Bilti Gavul V'Kitzva, and I guess they would all blend in one to the next, and you would not have the concept of a midah. Because of the Ramak writes like the Bezel Lashona Ha'atzel Eser Netzalim. So he brought out these 10 Netzalim. The Karam Tikudim, and he called them by that, because this is what the Ma'atzel does to limit his light. Mitam Shebechem, Megala Kodesh Baruch Hu Kochu, also through them, Kodesh Baruch Hu is able to say out his kocho is strength and gevurasa. Yirtzach b'fnei shebechem tikun ha'olam, because it's then that actually he's saying like this, is that it's just the opposite concept. He says that the tikkun ha'olam, which we normally think building the world, I was listening to somebody wasn't from use that word tikkun ha'olam, which they like to do. There you're talking about building the world. He's talking about the fact that the world is actually built by hiddenness. The world is built by Oz, Yotza Mifnei Yirtze Mifnei Shebechem Tikkun Ha'olam, the Asher La'olam Zulasim. Without them, there would be no physicality. Beheit Aman Higim also, and they are actually the forces that cause it, that run it, that run physicality, Bekoach HaMa'atzel, which is really comes from the Ein Sof Baruch Hu himself, which reveals itself inside of them. Let's go on a little bit from number Yod Aleph up above. Try to keep working on this. He says, we went on after Yod Aleph. It says, V'karinin lon asar sfiran, v'andacha b'korem osacha v'sarat tikunim b'shem eser sfiros. U'meloshen sapir. Now sapir v'or, shal yanem me'irin ha'davarim ha'niglim v'ne'alona, because through them you have this illumination comes out that makes things appear, but also it hides them. That's the idea of building through hiddennesses. That's interesting. So number Yud base, which went on the word Hanel Lomim, is Kanaydish Al Yedech Sefiros who Ha'aros Kol Olamos. It brings light into all of the the Olamos, according to the Ramak rather. V'ayin od Ramak b'Pardes, he says over there, Ki midos shal Kodesh Baruch Hu nikroim Sfiros. V'ayin b'Sefer Umonos the Harav Shem Tov ben Reb Shem Tov, B'bir Inyan Zecha B'Zel L'Shonu, I don't know where they found. I don't know if you know this name. I haven't seen it before. Ki sfiras hu meloshan sipur v'dibur. It's really a concept of talking or expressing oneself. Ki moshe chadibach mebegalach hamachshava on the olomos. So just like speech reveals the thought that's inside of the head, ba'adam. Kain has spheres megim thing the olomos. Chachmas, also spheros megim the chachma of Yotzreinu, of our Maker. So that is, the Maker himself has no boundaries. Umugvo, the lismach shavat tvisabek kiim ayedech spheros, only through the spheros which limit down that unlimited light, according to Be'er L'chai Rawi. He says of V'shas Ratzon, the farsha hefresh ben tikunim the spherin. So apparently, we want to talk about, is there a difference? Amar esa tikunim besod kalim to esa spheros. So he says that what are the tikunim? Tikunim are the vessels. V'chavakrin hadon esa spheros, but we call them by that. Besod hanaranki shalachem. Now exactly what that means, because that's the light that's in it. I think that's what it would mean, is the naranki. So he says, of Ezekiel Menachem Mevoyer, so it says of Elisha Tikunim Heim HaSpheros La'achar Tikunim, what we call spheros, are these Tikunim, let's read again, of Ezekiel Menachem Mevoyer Shal Tikunim Heim HaSpheros La'achar Tikunim Bebechinas Nekudos. So they originally were the Kudos. This is another explanation. Ki Kodem Vatikun Koye Bechinas Nekudos. So after they're actually set up in a way that they have these boundaries and gavulos, he said, parts of Besir Adam, then they form themselves into the concept of a partsuf, which is a rosh sof, like the form of a man. Besir Adam nikruch as spheros, and when that happens, they're called the name spheros. Shehem benimius, they are the really inside. Bechinas ruach kamosha kasav v'perakei b'shar tanda. Okay, not sure exactly where he says over here. He says, and the va'az nikra esed spheros. They're called esed spheros after the nekudim, no problem. But he says shehem hapnimius. He says this is the real inside bechinas ruach. The spheros are referred to zeranpin. I'm not sure why they call it ruach. Kamosha kasav v'perakei b'shar tanda. So over there they say they call them ruchos. Let's go on from number Yud Beis, and it said V'atzalos Eidach Be'ez Spheros. So bringing out these 10 spheros, Lan Haga V'chom Almim, in order for the world to run. Steamin Delo is Galium Kedei Lahan Hegal Yana Machalomos, and said in order to do that. So he says Ki An Haga Za'olam Im Lechesa V'im Chas V'sholem Lahefach, whether the world is going to run in a kind way, or God forbid the opposite. V'kol me'ita yisborach shemo, v'alpim midosa kaviyachol, and it runs through these midos. V'kamosha kasa b'rayim mehemna, and we have there the concept of the maskal, again, the balance, the kinds of balance. It could be to the right or to the left, or it could be balanced. V'atam mamasho chutzrak Hashem yisborach la'arza la'eses spheros, who begin the ishto v'doyim leis, in order to make it possible that he could be known. Called Birian, the La'ela, the Santiv of Midas delay, that all of them would become, I guess, he said Mishto Doim, through all the different combinations of Midos that they have. The Mavukha B'Sefer Shomer Amunim Shom, the Ritzon Lomer, the Al Yedech Spheros, Yipol Ha'ein Sof Baruch Hu Hashinoyim B'Priya, he's able to make the differences in creation of the Olam, B'Briya Sa'olam, V'hashgachaso, in the way that it actually influences what's going on, B'inyanim ha'cholfim ayin shom, with many different ideas. That comes in the Be'er L'chai Rawi. How are we doing time-wise? Okay, we'll do one more. Let's read a little bit more. Actually, we maybe read it out. So he says about how stumim shalot and lo his galos, so that they shouldn't be revealed. Almost the aim case, because actually there is no limit to the number of lights of worlds that there are. That actually came before this came out, and it's not known to us. So that was number Yud Dalit. This is the language. I'm going to quote the Eitz Chaim here. So he says, "V'zel lashon the Eitz Chaim, don't let it come into your thinking. He hayud sefiros anikra atzilus, anikra atzilena b'sefer azoar yud sefiros, that we call it yud sefiros, the atzilus. Al titach alachshav shehem yoser rishon and the gebochon b'kol mashen atzel. Don't think that this is the ultimate beginning. I think that's what he means. Ki kama olamos kadma alecha, because there are many olamos before we got into the situation we're now created and destroyed. The lerov olomim, because of the fact that they're hidden so badly. Lo shalchu b'chem yad l'chazkirim b'sefer chazara b'chala b'remez niflav, that you only get a hint about them. Kesher chabenecha n'anocha yibito, that you would certainly be able to see gimel ma'amarim b'sefer chatekuna b'inyan ak l'kol l'kodmim k'masha kaza be'ezez Hashem b'inyan zeh. That's what he's saying. Because he said, for example, Kamba olomos inun steaming the inun mislavshin and misrachvin bisfiron, that they are clothed within, in misrachvin, I guess carried along like a rechev, or carried, transported, bisfiron, in the spheros. Begam Maimer Echad Kuba Beparshas Noach, so he gets this reference, Beparshas Pekudi also, is Zalishono Amar Rebbe Shimon, Arimas Yade Betsilo Laelo. He says, I'll lift up my hand as a sign, I guess. Omarazach of the Machshavach Lord, the Desata Kuhu Ikri Ein Sof. So he said, the translation, Omaraza, the Machshavach, the stealing of thought, of the upper thought. The Vesata Kuhu Ikra Ein Sof, that I guess that's bringing it down here. From here, we all call it infinite. Beim Tasim Eine Sichlecha L'dayak. So if you put the eyes of your seichel to be able to really perceive into it deeply, Hativ, call Hamidas, Hamiyusaros, V'Hakfulos, all the extra words that we have, V'Harmazim, that hint, and Nirmazim V'Haramazim, and Nirmazim El Hamavin K'maimrim Chanal, that those who can understand this, he says, Tafliya v'tishtoiber berosro kama madregos al madregos the enkates, how deep this runs, impossible to reach. Misbar kad misbar misaper, I don't know what sort it is. Misbar kad Hashem sfiros hanikra hatzlein b'shem yud sfiros hatzilos, which are called that ultimately appears. Ba'ayim b'chiburim zechav yivzeh. Im Yizke Yeda V'Yavin V'Amod Al Maskontam Kamasha Kasa Ba'am Zabisov. A little vague at the end there, I'm not sure what we meant. V'Hira Go'onim Hastiros B'Matak L'Shona, that they hide with the secret of their language. B'Karam Esed Tzachzochos, they call them 10 clearnesses. Al Gabi Keser Elyon, which is on top of the Keser Elyon, V'Yotz B'Devarim Elu. So Tzachzos doesn't really describe something very physical, clearnesses. B'Devarim Elu, V'im Hiyuzki En Kitzva Elo Halomos. There is no end to the number of worlds there are. There should be Makom Azam. Ki heim alafim v'ribavos, there's thousands and 10,000s. Okay, so that's what we do right there. Let's see, I think, yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's go over here.